All right. It says this thing is live, so I'm going to post. And you know what? I have to do it. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. How do I share the link? No, that's not it. Pivoting stuff. Okay. I'm actually going to do a share screen for the most of this because nobody really needs to see me. Pull this over here. That way. Do it like that. All right. And I guess I have to go into this. Go into the Sidebar Cantina. And we're live. It's okay. On YouTube. Just keep that over there. Da, da, da. Hey now. All right. So, what's going on, everybody? After several minutes of dead air, welcome to the 2021 Sidebar Cantina Fantasy Hockey Draft. It's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely great because I don't have any clue what I'm doing whatsoever. So, damage my chin. Hi, I'm the new guy. So listen to the Rogue One review and enjoying the content so far. Awesome, Devin. Thank you much. If you haven't already, please join us in the Sidebar Cantina. You can find it on Facebook for other content-related nonsense between from a Gen X point of view and from the All Things Star Wars podcast. Jason, you know what? I probably should see what Jason's doing right now. Let's see if he's. Anybody see him on the chat here?
Love it.
Da, da, da. Not as much. Oh wait, was he in there? But Legacy of Bane left. Legacy of Bane joined. So let's see if Legacy of Bane wants to. Join us on the stream. Did you want to join in on the stream? Question mark. Go. All right, cool. Nice. Ignore the background hollering. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting. How you doing here? Apparently, I am Gritty Philly Flyer. I'm drafting ninth, which sounds terrible. But it's a snake draft. Just like fantasy football. And I don't have any idea the rules, like how what the gameplay is going to be like. But we can all find out together. So I'm going to actually go into the league here and see if I can find, if nothing else, find the use the commissioner tools and see what the league settings are. So max 10 teams. Thank you to the 10 of you, including Jason, that got in. Much appreciated. Let's see. So, don't care about the playoffs. We're not even close to that yet. So, roster positions. We got 2 centers, 2 left wing, 2 right wing, 4 defensemen, 2 goalies, and then 5 or 4 bench players, and then an IR slot. So, I think we can see that there. Like anybody who's in the draft right now, you can see that all that's going on over here for all your position players. As far as the stat categories, you get 6 points for goals, 4 for assists, you get 2 points for plus minus. It's Tony Ferrari in here. Where's Tony Ferrari at? And help us out with all this. Shots on goal, you get 0.9 points. Okay. Yeah, for a block, you get 1 point. Wins, get 5. Or for goaltenders, wins, you get 5. Goals against, you get -3. Saves, 0.6. Shutouts, 5 points. So, Luna Girl is impersonating Dragon Buddy for purposes of this. This how you doing? No. Still trying to find out what Jason wants to do. Jason, unfortunately, is laid out right now, which to me answers a vital question about the COVID vaccine and whether or not the getting the vaccine, if you've had COVID, if there's any kind of negative effect. And Jason had COVID pretty significantly, and with the vaccination also had kind of a recurrence of symptoms. So that it'll affect my decision making on whether or not I'm going to get the vaccine anyway. I'm feeling that it's going to be that card that everyone's going to have after they get vaccinated. I think that's going to kind of be your hey, get into this sporting event or this museum or go for a flight. They're going to need to be able to produce some sort of vaccination or something. So there'll probably be a whole secondary market in like developing forged COVID vaccine cards. So if you're into that kind of thing, if you're a mobster and you're into some sort of laundering scheme and you needed an idea, there you go. You can have that for free. Just subscribe and like the From Exchange Point of View channel. So really wish I could tell who everybody was. Who is Giant Ice Balls? Who is that? Oh, I think I could just make out the All Things Star or the Escape Pod logo. High sticking hodos has got to be Bronco Fett. It's got to be. Yeah, it's got to be. So yeah, this is what we're going to be doing. All right. So Jason's in there. Echo Dark Sabers. That's got to be Keith Lehman. Check out Keith on Layman's Terms on Facebook if you haven't already. He's funny. It's good shit. He's used to be doing these like monologues where he's like on by himself, like producing stuff. Me, not so much. Jason's the talker, and I just goof off. Yeah. So that's that. Dragon Buddy is Grogu's mom. Yeah, well, Luna Girl is Grogu's mom. All right. Hey, shit, we're started. Giant Ice Balls is up. Wow. So here we go. I hope I don't get a notification each time everyone drafts because that's going to be really annoying. Just like my dryer making noise right now. Pete's Primo Team. Who's Pete? Pete? Hello? Do I need someone to draft for Jason? No, I need you to draft for me if you're from Canada. uh, we Tony Ferrari, who is our who's been our Canadian contingent. With thankfully, we have another uh, Canadian here in the chat and participating in our little network here. And Tony's not even logged in. He does a Tony does it's a it's like a hockey it's a hockey podcast, but they do I think they just did like the juniors they talked about, and they talk about the draft a lot. So good stuff uh, out of Tony Ferrari. And honestly, if he's auto drafting here, he's probably going to do as well as anybody else. But I feel like I feel like a strategy. I mean, there's no kickers, right? It's not like fantasy football where like you're picking the kicker last and you're picking defense last. Like this is centers and goaltenders, I guess, are going to be the guys. And somebody please take Sandy Crosby so it doesn't force me to have to do that. Yeah, Tony Ferrari's podcast is. Hang on. He doesn't send us anything, so I have to. It's not like he say, "Hey, can you guys advertise a podcast for me?" You see, I guess he's too big for that. Let me see if it's in my library. Oops. I think it's Dauber's Draftcast is what he's on for all that stuff. Okay, so it's my turn, and I mean, kind of seems like a no-brainer, right? Uh, man, I choose you. Go, do it. Nope, I chose the wrong one. Damn it. Oh my god. I misclicked. That's what I get for looking at the small ass screen. So anyway, snake draft. I get to immediately. Why is Lunar Girl auto drafting? What is happening? And it's back to me. So I need a center. I just need to go ahead and get that out of the way. Um, oh man, this is so hard. uh, this is dumb. I just need to. Yeah. Oh, so Lunar Girl is participating in the draft. However, she's allowing the computer to pick for her. She's probably the smartest one in here, as far as that goes. Um, Jason's probably doing the same. I think really what this comes down to is, and honestly, the reason that I hope this is fun is that yeah, you'll pay a little bit of attention to hockey, and uh, sometimes it's a useful distraction. I know the fantasy football stuff was, and like Luna Girl said, we'll learn along the way, and it's gonna be great. So I got a while before I draft again, so I'm gonna, uh, you know, do things here on the side like you do. Um, yeah, who's watching football right now? Has anybody got football on in the background? I watched the. Uh, I watched the. Thank you, Dryer. I watched the game earlier today. What was it? The Ravens. I watched the Ravens win. So good for them. I'm not a Ravens fan. I just not the um, I don't know. I just was never into it. That the whole Ray Lewis era, I think, kind of soured me on that because I feel like, um, somebody who got away with murder was really idolized in that, and they're dirty. They're dirty players. Uh, that's just the way they play. That's a shame too because their coach is the good Harbaugh, and he kind of uh, he's right along those lines. I mean, the Ravens are what they are. Do I think the Ravens are? Is Lamar Jackson good enough to beat a team like uh, the Chiefs? Is that defense good enough? And I don't think they are. I mean, I think when it comes down to it, I still like the Chiefs. Um, I really like the Bills team. I enjoy watching that. In fact, talking about the Tampa Bay Washington, uh, talking about football during a hockey draft, probably a no-no, but whatever. Um, the uh, Hang on, let me pick. I want. What I really want. I wish that. Well, here, Devin, you're in here. You're a Canadian, and I'm going to go ahead and assume that you are a hockey follower. Does the divisions being changed affect how these guys are going to play? Like, the Canadians have their own division this year because of COVID, so each area is like each region is going to have their own bubble. Is that going to make the Canadians like is that how is that going to affect them overall? Because usually when you're traveling, everything else you have like home ice and everything else. Does the fact that the Canadians all going to play each other? Um, I mean, it's a little bit scary because there's a lot of good talented teams up there. I know you talked about Vegas being contenders, Colorado, Tampa Bay, obviously. Uh, Tampa Bay won it last year, right? Tampa Bay won it last year. Am I talking on my ass? I might be. Uh, oh, I got to pick somebody. Shit. Caught me monologuing. We'll just go ahead and do that. Um, Great. I got a bench player already. Sweet. Uh, yeah, I don't know. That's going to be interesting. The way the divisions are. I mean, it's good that they have hockey. It's good that they had the forethought to like limit travel and everything else. And obviously, in Canada, they don't necessarily want to travel across the border, but the um, the idea that the competition is going to be different, I think, is going to be interesting. An interesting sidebar to see like how that actually affects certain teams. Um, oh, I like there's Carter Hart. Nice. Let's see, he's up there. Not necessarily that high ranked here, but from as a Flyers fan, we're literally putting everything on Carter Hart this year. Like everything's going to ride on him. It's a ride or die right now with Carter Hart, and he played well last year from the stuff I watched and things talking about in Philly sports. So it's going to be big. We need Carter Hart to play well. We need Giroux to actually play like he can play. For other Flyers fans out there, I got my gritty pop representing. So, all right, Devin says he's literally at a hockey rink working right now. Awesome. Uh, and he thinks it will a bit. Games will probably be more competitive. Yeah, I'm hoping. A great story. So I don't know if I've told it for the podcast before, but we have growing up. There's the Flyers, like in between where Jason and I live. There's a place that was called the Coliseum, and that's where the Flyers practiced for years and years and years. Really should stop the dryer from doing that. If you can even hear it, otherwise I just sound like a lunatic. So you were able to go, and they had like open skate and stuff there at the Coliseum. Like you can go and yeah, and like I played some street hockey. Nothing like super competitive, just because that's just kind of what I did as a kid. I played a little bit of everything. I played everything from lacrosse to street hockey to football and all that stuff. But so we're a buddy of ours worked at the hockey rink, and he basically he was like the Zamboni driver, right? So he went and with this one practice, we went over there with him, and he was actually running the scoreboard for this like inter squad. And this is back in the Eric Lindros days. You had Eric Lindros, John LeClaire, all those big time flyers, and uh, we're bullshitting, right? Just kind of enjoying the spectacle of what was going on. And his name was Jay. Jay actually, did not count a score that had just happened. I guess Lindros had done it, and like Lindros comes skating up to the fucking to the box and starts yelling at him because he didn't like he's not paying attention, he didn't know the score. So we're sitting there like looking like this, right? And Lindros is just yelling at him, and and then John Leclerc kind of shoot him away and like apologize for him. It was fucking. We're like, what the fuck just happened? Oh, it's neat, having the benefit of growing up in a major metropolitan area. Like a lot of the players live in that area between Jason and I, like in the Philly suburbs. So it's actually pretty neat. I don't have a fucking center. I need a center. Okay, the Winnipeg Jets. So anyway, that's one of my flyer stories. Bruins fans, I hope not. I hope nobody participating in this is a Bruins fan. Anyway, it's been I get like Luna Girl. Yeah, she's a Giants fan and a Rangers fan. Whatever. I mean, please with the New York stuff, I can't even. I just don't. I don't like them. It's not a. You know what? I'm gonna do a homer move right now and pick Giroux. So this we're guaranteeing him that he's going to snap it like the first game of the season, which is against Pittsburgh, I think tomorrow. I think. Um, Devin's wife's a big Rangers fan. Oh my god, I just honestly, from as a Flyers fan, probably the bigger rivalry for me. Like I don't like any of the New York teams at all. Just don't at all. Blanket. Really hate the Devils. Do not like the Devils, but I give the Devils credit because they're actually the team. They're really the only sports team that plays in New Jersey that associates themselves with New Jersey. So I'll give them credit for that. I think Keith Lehman's a Devils fan. Um, but yeah, the this for me it's Pittsburgh. I hate the fucking Penguins. Hate them. I hate fucking um what's his nuts? The fucking oh my god, I can't even think. I can't even think of his name right now. Um, oh my god, who's the biggest crybaby on the planet for fucking Pittsburgh? Who's unfortunately really good, and it drives me absolutely insane. I can't think of the name. I just looked at it a minute ago. Anyway, yeah, there's always been a thing against Pittsburgh, and the Bruins and the Flyers have had a big rivalry since the '70s. So there's always something there as well. But from a Broad Street bully perspective, the and that Bruins rivalry is still a thing in the area, but not nearly as big as the Penguins rivalry. And that's our first game. Sidney Crosby, thank you, Sidney Crosby, Crybaby Crosby. Always good for some good memes in Philly. So what do I need? I need probably all the good goalies have gone, haven't they? Man, my limited knowledge of hmm. going to go with the Avalanche's goalie, just because I think Colorado's got a solid team. Um, the Bruins are the Cowboys of your hockey life. Well, I mean that's this New York fans between New York and New England. There's always been a big thing. How about back to football for a second? How about uh, the Tom Brady list Patriots not making the playoffs and Brady going and winning his first playoff game. Now, granted, it was against Washington, which we were starting to talk about it before. Washington is they had this kid on the team who was I'm doing another homer move. Um, they had a kid on this team, the quarterback, who was like I think at one point was Cam Newton's backup in Carolina like 4 years ago, and then he went and played in the XFL, and that was like the last football he played in. So because Alex Smith couldn't play, and he shouldn't have. Like he looked really bad in that Eagles game. Like he was going to get hurt to the point where he couldn't play anymore. Um, so to bring his kid in there, his name was like Heiner or Heineken or something like that. Henke. Anyway, he went in there, and God damn it, he looked good. The kid, for coming in there cold, not knowing anybody, any of the players or anything else, the dude went in there cold and made some really smart quarterback moves. I was impressed with that. I mean, it's play like that, coming out of nowhere, the grocery bagging store, some kid coming out of nowhere, that type of story. I I just like that. And then he went out there and actually performed and played well at the position, one of the toughest position in sports. Yeah, got to hand it to him. So I'm sure he'll find a backup gig somewhere, based on that performance. Shit, who knows? He could end up as a fucking Eagle. Yeah, that would be. Don't even want to get into that. But Washington did lose. They beat the spread though. Tampa Bay. It was Tampa Bay by 10. So Washington. It was like 31 to 23 was the final. Um, Brady did Brady things, and I remarkably, as much as I hate the Patriots, Tom Brady not being a Patriot doesn't bother me nearly as much. I was a Tom Brady hater. That kind of dissipated a little bit after we won the Super Bowl. So, but yeah, Tampa Bay riding riding the experience of Tom Brady. I don't know how far they're going to get. I mean, right now this Bears Saints game is kind of a shit show. Having in the background, neither of those teams look like they're going to do anything in the playoffs. It'd be really tough to get around uh, a team like I don't know the Packers, for example. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, back to hockey. That's what we're doing. We're doing hockey. This is going quick. I'm actually pretty surprised. I think it helps that some people are auto picking and helping themselves out. So I can appreciate that. What do I got? I need defensemen. I need defensemen. Lots of centers on the board, huh? Dallas. Hmm. Oh, I'm doing it. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna do it. Uh I'm going to pick Flyers because I know them. It's kind of low hanging fruit. I do need defensemen though. I need to start. Or not. Let's see. You know what? We'll go with a Vegas player. So McCarr for D. Hedman. Oh, Heiskanen? Are you talking about for on here? Looking at this board. Uh, I know some of these names. This is challenging. This will be fun. This will be fun. Um, Yeah, Washington was a brand new team in a rebuilding year. You know, they spent uh uh thanks, my dryer's like a hockey buzzer. Washington spent, I think they wasted uh, a year with Dwayne Haskins. He was a problem in Ohio State, and he showed up in the NFL and will continue to be a problem. So it'll be interesting if he finds work in the NFL. It won't be anything more than a backup. I certainly hope that he doesn't fucking end up as an Eagle, because honestly, I don't want that kind of idiot on our franchise. Uh, yeah, I think Washington still needs a quarterback. Alex Smith is not the guy. So you're going to need to find somebody. And it'll be interesting how all that stuff turns out. Uh, Luna Girl auto drafted Crosby. I mean, from a strictly fantasy hockey standpoint, you're not. That's not a bad move. I mean, he's not a bad player. I just hope that he goes out on the ice. I think tomorrow night, and and snaps it like in the first 5 minutes. That would be fantastic. I would. I am unfortunately the type of Philly fan that would cheer when somebody goes down like that with an injury. I'm sorry, um, not really though, because that's just how it is. Uh, Crosby can eat a bag of dicks. Honestly, I'm not. I'm not a fan. All right, what do we got? I need more defensemen. All the defensemen. And let's see. Let's go. Let's just look for defensemen. I'm not. Oh, an Islander, huh? This guy scored 11 goals last year. Hmm. Hmm. Seems like a silly move. The problem with me drafting in front of everybody is that, like, if I have an idea of something, then I'm telling all of you that have the same idea. All right. Like, all right, all right, all right. What happened? Apparently, I want to draft it. Took too long there, son. All right. I'm gonna get a chance here again in a second after Lunagar auto drafts, and I think I like this. You know what? I'm gonna pick this guy. I want goal scorers. The Panthers are not a great team. So the the props still is, yeah, right. Um, so I've actually gotten to go to a hockey game in Canada. We actually I went to a game. It was the Ottawa Senators versus the Buffalo Sabres. What a fucking great time! It was an absolutely great experience. It was one of those, and I don't know if I've talked about it on a pod or not, but we were in Ottawa. We used to go up there pretty frequently. We had business up there with the military with some satellite developer, and so we get to go up to Ottawa. And holy fuck, it was this particular time. It was advanced cold, just fucking so cold. The deal with her, I think I talked about it. I did talk about it. How we were ice skating, to work on that river that runs through Ottawa. Anyway, so we actually, we're there for like a week. Figured, oh, let's go to a hockey game. So we got basically standing room, which was cool, and the entire experience, soup to nuts, was fucking great. The giant cans of beer when you get in there, and then we got to witness the Canadian national anthem, right, which was fucking phenomenal. The dude, I want to say he was a Mountie, but I don't remember. But the dude went out there, did a great rendition of the Canadian national anthem, and they had this giant maple leaf flag, Canadian flag, that was like stretched in the crowd. and then it just everyone passed it along. So you had this like Canadian flag just going around the bottom of the bowl of the circumference of the stadium. And it was so fucking cool, and they were so into it. And the dude did a fucking kick ass job on the United States national anthem. So just a really cool experience. A lot of experiencing the Canadian shit talking on the Sabres was great. Um, yeah, it was a good time. I was, I've only been to I've saw the Senators, and I've been to Dallas and saw Dallas play a few years back, and that was a pretty good experience too. Like I think because we were military active duty, I think we got in for free, so that was pretty cool. And then we got in for free and had like really good seats, and it was a good hockey match. Um, but yeah, that's I don't think I don't think I've been to another hockey arena. Now, obviously, being a Flyers fan, I've seen I haven't seen a lot of Flyers games. Um, there was uh, a guy we used to work with. One he had season tickets for the Phantoms when they were still in Philly. So we go to a lot of Phantoms games. And that was always a great time. It was good hockey. It was a lot of fun. It was cheap. It was cheap to get in there. You know, even without having a friend who had season tickets. Um, it was a good time to watch good hockey. And we were really upset when the Phantoms moved. You know, they went out. I think they're in Allentown or Scranton right now. I'd love to see them come back to Philly just to have the opportunity to um, see them play some more and just have cheap hockey because a night at the rink can be expensive. If we ever get to that point where we can go and see hockey again. Um, huh. Speaking of Ottawa and Buffalo, there's the two defenders right there at the top. I really like goal scorers. Oh, this dude takes a lot of shots. So does everyone else though? You know what? Fuck it. I choose you. Um, I'm gonna try one more defenseman and then take a look at what else I need. Um, if you want to feel some chills, watch a Canadian hockey crowd finish the U.S. anthem when a mic quits. I saw that video. That is great YouTube. Um, when that happens, just really, just like the goose pimples you get from seeing something like that is is pretty fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. I can't pick another Florida defenseman. Gotta do something else. Mm, fan points last year. What's this? What's up with this guy? Okay, that means nothing. It's gonna yell at me, isn't it? Big guy from the Blues. All right, hang on 1 second. Yeah, let the dog in. Come on. Go ahead, lay down. What? No, it's not time yet. Somebody wants to get fed. Uh, so yeah, let's see. I'm out west, and it's pricey when the Rangers are in town. We go. Um, I almost went to see the Canucks play in Vancouver, and I forget what happened. I think we were supposed to be up in that area. You know, we were there on a trip with the military, and we were supposed to be there for I think for a few nights, and then something happened where we ended up having to leave sooner, so we weren't able to go. But that was the beauty of like what Jason and I used to do. Um, you can't see the dog. Hang on. Here. Come on, jump up. There you go. See? Logo. Yeah. Um, yeah, somebody it's she's you can set your clock to when it's on the sixes because that's when she gets fed is on the sixes. Uh, so yeah, I think I was talking about one of the cool things about what Jason and I used to do was getting to go to all these different places and then having if being lucky enough to have enough time there where you could go see a sporting event or um, do something like that in town and actually get to enjoy it a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of it was spent going finding bars and drinking, especially overseas because reasons. Um, but yeah, it's I've been really really lucky to be able to get to places that I would never otherwise be able to get to. And to be honest, there's no real hockey venue that I'm dying to get to. Um, Mm, I have zero interest in going to Madison Square Garden. Uh, I had an opportunity to do that once with a Flyers game. I really, the place, I don't like getting in and out of New York as it is. Even taking the train, it's still, I just don't, there's too many people. And I mean, I have a people issue, which we know, but what does DTD mean? For what? What are we in reference of? Due to, what? I don't know. What does DTD mean? What's he talking about? Is it on here? Mm, Tony's team left the draft. I don't know. Uh, Driving to New York City is a whole different type of skills. I can never do it. Yeah, I mean, I've had to do it, and I can do it. I'm proficient city driver. That's not the problem. It's the, it's just the amount of people. It's just too much. It's just too much. Um, So I really don't have any interest in it. I think the only time I would go to the Garden is to see uh, the Big East tournament. The Big East tournament for college basketball is in at the Garden. So I'd like to get up there and oh, DTD, injured day to day. Thank you, Devin. Um, yeah, just getting uh, going up there for the Big East tournament, I think would be cool. I'm a big Villanova fan. Uh, so I'd go up there to see that. But again, we're talking at a point when we can actually go and do stuff again. San Jose, I feel like they haven't done anything in Big Coleman. When did I get a second goalie? I must have been sleeping on that one. Uh, all right, shush. Anyway, Billy Joel, the only reason I would go, anxiety in large crowds. Yeah, there's a there's a mechanism. I've been in situations overseas that have caused me to have to um, really enable my fight or flight, like because I needed it, and putting myself voluntarily in that situation does not excite me in the least. So, all right, my last pick. I got to make it a good one. Uh, is there any other flyers I can pick? uh, this guy had 18 goals, 22 assists. Power play points. All right, I choose you, whether I like it or not. So, what if Star Wars on Ice was at MSG? I don't know. Yes, it is weird. Don, who loves large crowds. for the All Things Star Wars Escape Pod. Listen, you can awesome. If you are that type of person, I've never, even when I was a kid, I never really was into the crowds. But I'll tell you one thing: being at like an Eagles game where that's the one time when you're because you're kind of a singularity, right? You're of the 72,000 people that are in the building, like everyone is like I don't mind it as much when I'm sitting there in the stands, if that makes sense. Because being involved in the game, you don't go in the Eagles game and then have people like not paying attention to the game. Like even if they're losing and it's really bad, we're all booing and doing shit all at this all as one entity anyway, or we're all leaving because fuck them. But yeah, I've been in Beaver Stadium with close to 100,000 people in there. They were playing Rutgers, so it wasn't a sellout. It wasn't like going to a whiteout. Um, you know, it's the idea of being in the same fucking area as a hundred thousand of your closest friends uh, is a little much. But yeah, and honestly, like even getting into the what happened. I think the Bears just had a takeaway. Oh yeah, look at that. Anyway, yeah, it's the getting in and out of it. It's like you're in this mass of people, and it's just a lot. And when you get to a seat, like I don't want to leave the seat unless I absolutely have to. Like once I get there, and then I want to leave. But that's like I said, that's me. Uh, and it's prohibitive most of the time, but it's fine. Whatever. I will live. So yeah, looks like the draft is complete. I hope everyone is happy with their draft. I'm curious to see what the draft grades are going to be because we know how important that is. And, Jason with his C plus draft for football, and goes out and wins the whole fucking shooting match, bastard. Uh, Brenda, hey, I'm on Pete's Primo team. Is there a group for fantasy hockey stuff, or is it going to be a Sidebar Cantina page? We'll just keep it all in the Sidebar Cantina. I don't want to have to maintain another group, honestly. Um, so people are in the Sidebar Cantina just for Star Wars stuff. They've had to absorb a lot of the fantasy football stuff anyway. So there you go. Um, I'm sure for the most part, everybody that's involved with this right now is in that Gen X, uh, you know, stovepipe. So hopefully, uh, nobody's too offended by that stuff. But yeah, we'll all the I expect this is what I expect out of the season. I expect smack talk. I expect to hear from our Canadian contingents. I expect Luna Girl and Keith to do their smack talking, even though we have no idea what the outcome is going to be. It's going to be a lot of fun. So with that, I think I'm going to log this off. Uh, yeah, Jason just said in the draft chat if he can get better in a C plus, we shall see. And I'm the commissioner of this league, obviously. So if there's any issues with anything, let me know. I'll do my best to resolve it. I think everything went pretty smooth from this perspective, though. So feel free to message me either on Facebook or through the Cantina or through the Yahoo Fantasy stuff because I'm pretty engaged on there. So yeah, that'll be it. So thanks again, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of uh, the From a Gen X Point of View podcast and this broadcast. Check out this week. We are doing a pattern delay because Jason's under the weather, as I talked about earlier. So we're going to potentially do the midweek for the From a Gen X Point of View. But if not, we'll just end up sliding to the next Monday, depending. Things happen. So keep an eye out for that. We'll post as required, but no show tomorrow night. Um, but Wednesday night for sure. you'll have the escape pod. The guys will be on their escape pod, so look for that. I plan on talking about how Harbaugh signed on for fucking uh uh another. Let me put it to you this way. I'll just in the Big Ten, we're glad that Harbaugh's decided to stay because that guarantees 4 more years of more mediocrity out of out of the Michigan team, and I'm fine with that. That's fine. If they want to continue to lose, they for whatever reason they're riding Harbaugh's khakis, and uh, I don't know. I don't know what he has on the AD, uh, or maybe uh, maybe the boosters have something to do with that. Maybe they still want Harbaugh to be there. I don't know, but on the pod um, we will discuss a little bit of the Harbaugh situation because there is a board bet involved in that. Um, Stone bleeds. No, sorry, no show for your birthday. Sorry about that. We'll put something nice in the cantina, and we'll do that. But no birthday show, sadly. You can go back and watch other episodes of the From a Genetics Point of View. Subscribe to our channel. Hit the smash the thumbs up. How you doing? Share it. Do all the things. Find us on all the podcast mediums: Spotify, iTunes, Google, Audible, all those things. Leave us reviews. Do all that shit. So yeah, I'm going to end the broadcast before I get distracted again. So yeah, have a good evening, and I will see you all later.